Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cream, highlight, and contour your face. I'm using the new NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealers. You can use these for regular concealing, you can use them for contouring, highlighting, all that jazz. So I'm going to break it down for you step by step today. This video is sponsored by NYX Professional Makeup, so thank you so much NYX for collaborating and partnering with me on today's video. I am so excited about this concealer. They sent this to me a couple weeks ago. It was like right around Christmas and I've been using it ever since. You guys, I'm obsessed with it. You're gonna get to see it in action right now, and I'm gonna walk you through all the steps on how I created this look on my face today. I actually don't have on any powder products. It's all creams, which is insane for me because I am an oily monster. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited about this video. Please subscribe and let's get started. So I have three colors here that I'm going to use. The one that I'm going to use for like brightening and concealing is the shade Vanilla. Then I have an in-between color. This is the color Natural. It's just a little bit darker than Vanilla. And then my contour shade is Caramel, or 15.7. They also have numbers. So these are the three shades that I have here that I'm going to be using. So currently on my face, I just have a light layer of foundation. I did apply my skincare and prime beforehand, and then I didn't apply too much foundation to start off because I will be applying more of this cream product on top of it. I just didn't want to add too many layers. So I feel like the light layer of foundation was perfect. It didn't cover up too much. I did add more to like, I have a couple of pimples all like down here, which is really weird. But so the first color I'm gonna go into in the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer is the shade Vanilla. This is going to be the perfect highlight and concealer shade for under my eyes. Now, a lot of times you'll see people go in with all of their shades at once and do all of the shapes and stuff. You could totally do it that way. That way works great. But for me, I end up having a hard time blending because I'm trying to avoid some of those areas that have like the darker when I'm working on the lighter, if that makes sense. So what I like to do is one step at a time and blend it as I go rather than blending it all out at once at the end. So if you have a hard time doing cream highlighting and cream contouring, try it this way because it might just be a little bit easier to achieve. So I'm going to go in with the shade Vanilla, and I'm going to bring this right here under the eyes like so. And then I'm also going to bring some right here because I'm going to balance out the highlighter here on the chin, a little bit here on the Cupid's bow, under the nose, because this is where I get like really red and it's going to cover up the redness. I'm going to put a dot on the center of the nose just because I don't like to apply too much product on my nose, otherwise it ends up separating. My nose is weird. I don't know why it does that. So you can use a brush or a sponge. I'm just going to be using a sponge and I'm going to stipple this in. Remember, anything that is brighter is going to come outwards and look like it's popping out. And that's why a lot of times you'll see people go a little bit brighter on the under eye area, because then it not only covers the dark circles, but it kind of like pops it out, covering all of that. Now I'm going to go under and cover this area here. I did this triangular motion. Now we all have different face shapes. So my face shape, I don't really even know what it is. Everyone tells me it's square. It's definitely not square. It's in between like a round and oval, so it might even be like heart shaped. I contour a little bit differently than I've seen other people contour. I've done a cream highlight and contour video in the past on how to do it on a round face shape, but I kind of do it a little bit differently from when I did it there because I don't feel like you need to do so much. And one thing I love about this Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer is how freaking full coverage it is. Do you see that? Like, I just went in with one layer and I feel like I'm like totally, completely porcelain skin, fake baby doll face, which I'm into. If you don't want such a full coverage look, you can just go with a lot less. But if you want that full coverage look, then so I'm going to grab the Caramel shade. It's going to be the darkest shade. And when I contour, I actually like to use a brush. I don't know why. I've never been good at blending in contour products with a sponge. The line that I like to do is the top of the ear to the end and like corner of the mouth. So this is the angle that most people are gonna wanna stick to. And you don't wanna go past the iris of your eyeball because anything you bring in here is gonna make it a little bit more dramatic. So when I initially put this on, I'm gonna stick back here And then I personally take whatever leftover product is on my brush and bring it in this area, but I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm just gonna take this and bring a little line there. And then I'm just gonna go in with my brush and start pressing it in to my skin. Now whatever's left over, I'm gonna bring over here. Because this is so full coverage, you really don't need a lot of product. So do this. And just try not to go past this area. I'm grabbing my sponge and I'm just diffusing this. It's also gonna pick up some of the excess product. And now I'm actually gonna take it and kind of curve it downwards. Not in here, but just kind of like this. That for me is going to kind of chisel this out a little bit and make it look a little bit more like, you know what I mean? So you don't have to do that if you have more of an ovular, is that it? Ovular? Okay, I'm not gonna say ovular. But if your face is more of an oval face shape, you don't have to bring it down like that. Like you don't have to do any of these steps. But for me, I feel like it really slims out the face when I do that. So I'm gonna bring that there. Continue to buff this out. And then I'm going to grab that color Natural. That was sort of the in-between shade. And I'm going to put just a little bit in between and take my sponge. And this is going to help mend that brighter concealer shade with the contour shade. Need a little bit more. And you can skip this step if you want. For me, I just feel like it looks a little bit more natural because you're giving yourself a slight ombre effect. Put just like 2 dots like this. And I'm gonna grab the middle shade, Natural, and bring it right here. And for me, I feel like I don't have an extra large forehead or anything. I feel like it's just a normal size. So I'm just gonna contour the sides. If you feel like your forehead is a little bit larger, you can bring the darker shade up here. It will kind of like bring it downwards. But I don't feel like I need to do that. I just mainly wanna do the sides so it makes my face look longer in the center. So I'm gonna take my brush and push this in. I'm not dragging around too much, I'm just pushing. I feel like these two mix of colors look really, really natural on my skin. It doesn't look too intensely dark on my complexion. It's just a nice natural fade. And you can go back in with the sponge, which has the brighter shades on it, and kind of stipple in the center so you have a nice gradual fade. There's no like harsh lines that like start and stop anywhere. It's all fading. So I'm bringing this like that. I'm gonna stop with it there because I know these are super pigmented. And then I'm gonna bring the Natural shade a little bit above it because this can get really intense over here. So I'm just going in with the brush, get it over here kind of like behind the, not behind the ear, but like right next to the ear there. I'm not swiping it around too much because right now we have this like beard situation. Just want to gradually work at it. Once you've got the majority of it blended in, take it and drag it down the neck so you don't have any crazy lines. You can also flick it upwards to get a nice fade. You can go back in with the sponge and kind of diffuse it. One thing that I always do is kind of like go like this and give yourself like this crazy like double chin, because then you can see if there's any like harsh lines or anything that you missed and need to blend out. So I definitely miss them. Okay, going back in with that sponge. That's kind of like my favorite thing, is to go in with the sponge and just kind of diffuse it a little bit, because I don't want it to look crazy and I don't want like any division between it. I want it to look really seamless. Going in with this sponge on top of everything just helps to melt everything together and look really, really natural. Now, if you want this area to be even sharper, you can go back in with either the lightest shade or that mid-tone shade to kind of brighten it up. I don't want to go too bright under there, so I'm just going to take that mid-tone shade, the Natural color, just a little bit, because I don't want too much going on. I'm going to go in with my sponge and push in and out like this. I'm not dragging it around or anything because I don't want it to move too much. I'm just bringing it right under here in this area to kind of highlight underneath this harsh contour here. It's going to make it pop even more. So I'm bringing that just like so. And then I'm going to go in on the bigger part of the sponge and melt it all together. And remember, anywhere that you want to make recede back in and kind of like create a shadow, that is what you're contouring. I get a lot of questions about what's the difference between contouring and bronzing. And bronzing is just, you could do like anything you want with bronzer. You could have a shimmer, you could have a matte, anything like that, and it's basically to make you look like you've been out in the sun and like the sun kissed your face. So you can put bronzer literally anywhere on the face that you want to look like you have a tan, basically. Contour is to create shadows and kind of trick the eye and give illusions. So those are the differences, and that's why with a contour product, you don't want to go in with anything shimmery, just because anything shimmery is going to reflect the light and make it bounce outwards and make it stand out, where when you're contouring, you're wanting to make things look like they're going inwards, you know what I mean? And creating a shadow. So if you had a shimmery product, it would kind of like contradict itself. And that's why you want to use only like matte products or like cream products for contouring. And you wouldn't want to use anything shimmery for that. But for bronzer, since you're kind of putting that wherever, that you can do a shimmer if you wanted. Overall, that is how I contour and highlight with cream products. I'm loving the way this looks, and look it covered up my spots. If you saw my go-to glam video where I was contouring and I have these like spots that do not accept pigment, clearly using cream concealers is the way to go because I don't see them right now. All right, guys, that completes everything for this video today. I really hope you enjoyed this more in-depth tutorial. I've had so many requests to bring it back to my simplistic how-to series that I did a couple years back. Now it feels like I just did it, which is weird, but here we are. I'm going to kind of revamp that series again and just go over a lot of very simple techniques and fill your ear with too much information on it. So I hope you like this video. Thank you so much, NYX Professional Makeup, for sponsoring this video. I had a lot of fun creating this, and I think I found a new concealer that I'm obsessed with. So that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe, leave me your recommendations and requests down below in the comments, and I will see you very soon.